There was speculation that Starmer had gone into hiding after his recent scandals were made public. Over the weekend, reports surfaced that Starmer had accepted more freebies and failed to declare them, more than what was originally disclosed. This, of course, has led to public outrage, with people wanting answers as to why. There have also been rumors surrounding his personal life. However, despite claims that he was in hiding, Starmer has made an appearance as the Conservatives hold their conference this week. We'll go over what he has said, but first, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join our rapidly growing community. Starmer has appeared publicly for the first time since his scandals came to light over the weekend. In a statement regarding Iran, Starmer condemned the country's attack after a discussion with Israel's prime minister about the escalating situation in the Middle East. Here's what he said. "We stand in solidarity with Israel and acknowledge its right to defend itself in the face of this aggression. Iran must cease these attacks along with its proxies, such as Hezbollah. Iran has been a threat to the Middle East for far too long, bringing chaos and destruction not just to Israel, but also to the people in Lebanon and beyond. Let there be no doubt, Britain is firmly opposed to such violence. We support Israel's justified demand for the protection of its citizens. Today I've spoken with Prime Minister Netanyahu, the King of Jordan, President Macron, and Chancellor Scholz. Over the past week, I've also been in contact with other leaders, including Lebanese Prime Minister McCarthy and President Abbas, the head of the Palestinian Authority, to explore a political solution to the conflicts in Lebanon and Gaza. I am deeply worried that the region is on the brink of disaster, and I'm especially concerned about the risk of miscalculations. The situation in Lebanon is becoming increasingly dire. I want to reiterate my advice to British nationals still in Lebanon. You must leave immediately. You should register your presence with government officials on our website. We have arranged a chartered flight and we're doing everything possible to evacuate people. But the situation is extremely unstable. If you have the means to leave, now is the time. Do not delay." This statement followed after Iran launched nearly 200 missiles toward Israel, prompting civilians to seek refuge in bomb shelters. Israeli media reports indicate that the IDF has urged Israelis to stay vigilant and strictly adhere to the Homefront Command's directives. The Israeli military added that upon hearing a siren, people must take shelter in a protected area and remain there until further instructions are given. Warning sirens were heard throughout Jerusalem shortly after 5:30 p.m. UK time, accompanied by sounds of explosions. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, gave the order to fire missiles at Israel, according to a senior Iranian official. The official further stated that Iran is fully prepared for any retaliation. The IDF announced that it has identified and is intercepting the missile launches, warning that this attack is serious and will lead to consequences. Loud explosions have also been reported in the Jordan Valley, which lies on the border between Jordan and the West Bank. In southern Israel's Jaffa, police responded to a shooting incident with reports of multiple casualties. It is believed that at least 8 people have been killed, with several others injured. Earlier today, the United States had warned that Iran was preparing to launch a ballistic missile attack on Israel imminently. The White House announced that President Joe Biden had ordered U.S. military forces in the region to assist Israel in defending against the Iranian missile strikes and to intercept the missiles. This comes after the Israeli military confirmed that it had launched a ground operation in southern Lebanon in the early hours of this morning. The U.S. Embassy in Israel has issued a high alert warning to its employees, advising them to return home and be ready to take shelter in bomb-proof areas. This is the first such order since Iran's aerial assault on Israel in April. There had been speculation that the court heard that the victim ended up sending Hughes over £175,000. The confiscation order from the court now requires Hughes to pay back £32,144, or he will face another 12 months in prison. Hughes's deception went beyond the initial financial requests as he fabricated threats from an imaginary third party, claiming they would come to the victim's home if she stopped sending money. Even after the relationship ended, Hughes continued to request money for nearly a year. The Crown Prosecution Service's CPS, Proceeds of Crime Division, began legal proceedings to recover Hughes's illicit gains after his conviction. Adrian Foster, the chief Crown prosecutor for the CPS Proceeds of Crime Division, said, Romance fraud is a cruel crime that preys on the trust and vulnerability that exist in close relationships. He added, Kai Hughes manipulated his victim, stealing from her, threatening her, and leaving her in financial hardship and extreme stress. The court has issued both a confiscation and compensation order for £32,144 to be paid directly to the victim. Should Hughes gain additional assets in the future, the CPS can take further legal steps to recover the full amount of his criminal earnings. Foster emphasized, the CPS will always use the powers at its disposal to ensure that crime doesn't pay, stripping criminals of their illicit profits and, where possible, making sure that money is returned to the victims. Between 2019 and 2024, the CPS recovered £450 million from confiscation orders. This substantial amount prevents thousands of convicted criminals from profiting from their crimes. Notably, £88 million of the recovered funds has been returned to victims as compensation. In other news, Princess Beatrice has announced that she is expecting her second child with her husband, Eduardo Mapelli Mossi. King Charles expressed his delight at the news that Beatrice and Eduardo are expecting their second child together. In an official statement, Buckingham Palace said, Her Royal Highness Princess Beatrice and Mr. Eduardo Mapelli Mossi are thrilled to announce that they are expecting their second child together in early spring, a sibling for Wolfie, aged 8, and Sienna, aged 3. The king has been informed, and both families are overjoyed by the news. Beatrice's first child, a daughter named Sienna Elizabeth Mapelli Mossi, was born in September 2021. What are your thoughts on what we've discussed in today's video? Let me know in the comments below, and if you haven't already, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, and goodbye.